A shout out to the practical supporters of eRacing GP, Royal Selangor, Casio Edifice and Xbox. Thank you for your support of Alex Young's initiative that really is remarkably now in season 6. We're on to the silver edition, Alex, so far. In the 2 races we've had, or the 4 races we've had in copper and bronze, we have had lots of contact with these old classic cars.
Yeah, I mean, they're great to watch, aren't they, though? They're moving around. Like you said, you really have to wrestle them quite a bit. But it gives you, you see them drive and attack each other. I really do enjoy watching these cars, and it's a totally different driving style. And you can see a lot of the younger guys who have always driven cars that are perfect in Formula 1 or Formula 4, Formula 3. They're struggling to get used to these old cars, which you really have to kind of manhandle to get the lap time out of it.
We're up to the silver class, and so the standard is going up a little bit. Just how good the standard can be, let's show you the highlights from the gold edition that took place last week at the Salzburg Ring. This is the start. Nakib Aslan in pole, bottom right of your screen. Long wait for the drivers. Red lights are still flashing. Now we're underway. Nakib, a bit of wheel spin. Behind him, Nabil gets a good start ahead of Inigo Anton. Perwin is there. Nakib holds on. No, Nakib overtaken by Nabil and Josh Perwin.
Wow.
So Nabil Aslan leads the way, and Amo Hazik joins us for commentary. Amo, sorry for the late start. Well, what a start that is for Nabil Aslan. As Nakib begins to make a move, Nakib goes through on the inside, and Nakib, having been fastest in qualification, Amo Hazik has regained the lead. Josh Perwin behind the 2 brothers in P3.
And he's got his brother as a buffer here, and driving the same car as well. In fact, all 3 of them in the Nissan, but no team orders as of yet, or family orders. It's just a straight fight all the way as we come to the end of lap 1.
He certainly is, but Nakib has been able to establish himself a bit of a lead as Josh goes on the inside. Nabil just closes that gate. Have you had a chance to drive these these Group C vehicles, Amo? They're difficult, as you can see, as Perwin goes off. Now Nabil has received a slowdown penalty. That will enable Inigo Anton to go around him. Oh, is he able to? As Harris Zephy receives a slowdown penalty as well. Track limits abuse. This tight circuit is causing a problem. This time, Inigo is able to get through into P2. Nabil lets him through. And and then he goes wide. Inigo Anton gets it completely wrong.
I know Nabil got it wrong, and fortuitously, he found the escape route right there, so he didn't lose that much time. But he'll be very annoyed for himself that he gone that wide and lost position. I think these guys who have been used to driving some really newer school cars are not used to this old one. Says Reyes goes to the inside and takes 3rd place away from Tasby, I think.
I think he was just defending it there, Russell Reyes. He was just able to hold off an attack by Mohamed Tasby. So Russell Reyes for the Velocio Ragazza Squadra team is holding on to P3. He's about 2 seconds down on his fellow Filipino Inigo Anton.
He's going to have to let by as Nakib, I think, has come through the final corner to take victory.
Yes, there is Nakib Aslan, takes the victory in race 1 of the season. A veritable country mile clear of Inigo Anton. Inigo Anton from the Philippines, a very good P2 for him.
Yep, and it's going to be an interesting run up to turn 1, because remember, the fast guys are now in that midfield towards the back, while the slower guys are actually going to hold the front. As a bad start there from Harris, in fact.
Harris is pushed out the way.
Oh, he's got hit by Nazri Aslan there. But the rest of the field go by as now coming to the first corner. Jin Wilton actually leads the way. He gets the whole shot coming to turn 1.
Jin Wilton leads the way from Nabil Aslan. Josh Perwin, he'll be looking to make amends for a disappointing round 1. Josh Perwin has got himself up into P3 already. That's the race he's got ahead of him. And Nabil Aslan trying to go on the inside of Jin Wilton. Wilton is pretty quick himself, though. We forget how good the second string of racers are. Behind them, how has Nakib started? Where is Nakib Aslan?
I hazard to guess he has actually made his way up to P7 in fact. So great start.
Yeah, Nakib in P7. There he is. What a start! And he takes Ayman Hazik there as well as Nakib Aslan. Well, we're with Jim Vilton at the moment, but Naki Baslan has got himself up into P7. Fabulous start as Josh Perwin goes around Nabil Aslam into P2. Alessandro Ottaviani moves into P3.
But in this case, it's the 962C used racing car slower than an SM92K. So now he's going to have to defend hard here. Vilton on the inside, Perwin on the outside. Can Perwin make the mistake? They're going side by side through the Notchstein curve. And somehow, Perwin can manage to actually get the power in without sliding. He takes the lead.
This is a real scrap going on here. We're on board with 14-year-old Dylan Tan. Behind him, Naqib Aslan draws into the slipstream, tries to get close. Naqib goes on the inside of Dylan Tan. Dylan, almost runs into the back of Naqib Aslan. There is Ottaviani around the outside. Nabil defends this time. Ottaviani may well have been able to do too much. And Nabil pushes him off. And Ottaviani, for the second time in this race, slides off the racing line. Naqib trying to get into P5. That's Tasby that he's taking on. Tasby versus Naqib. Tasby defends. Naqib tries to go on the inside, and Naqib, this time the straight pace, is able to just not get him through. Great defending from Mohamed Tasby. Raises the man in front of them. This is the battle for P5. At the front, Josh Perwin has won it. Josh Perwin takes the victory in race number 2. Nabil Aslan comes through into P2. Alessandro Ottaviani in P3. Ray's in 4. And Naqib Aslan has just got the better of Tasby. And Naqib will come through in P5 ahead of the Singaporean. And that was last week. That was the gold boys doing really well. Naqib Aslan and Josh Perwin with the winner piece. Naqib leading the fledgling Season 6 table. Now, though, we are into the silver class, and there's some very, very good races. The championship leader, Jun Cheng, Alex Young, he had a very, very good round one around the Brno circuit. Yeah,
he did, didn't he? He was, I think, won race 2, didn't he? Finished second race 1.
Yeah, actually level on points with Darren Ivan. Yes, he won race 1, second in race 2. Darren Ivan picked up fastest lap in both of the races, so we'll keep an eye out on the Singaporean. Couldn't read my own writing there. Mohamed Khalif from Malaysia in 3. Voltaire Seiko, Simke Wan 4 and 5. Justin Hung and Wei Xiong giving us a nice international feel. Mark Voltaire Elman, who's always quick, and Arif Azmi, if I recall, had a very, very decent race too, picking up 9 points overall. And our Japanese competitor, welcome back to NoSO. We love to see you racing every week. They're the silver class standings. We are at the Brno circuit, which is it's a new one to me. You've driven there. Enjoyable drive, or one of those frustrating ones that you can never quite get yourself going 150 miles an hour?
It can be quite technical, these long corners, and not any massive long straights. It's hard to overtake on, but when you get it right, it's very rewarding. A lot of a similar kind of corner, these long, medium to long corners, where you need to try and hold the brake into the corner to brake really late without locking a wheel.
That top of the graphic there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, that does look to be very, very technical. The right, left, right. You're never quite sure where you are on the circuit.
That is true.
Okay, the drivers have got about a minute and a half worth of practice. But here's Darren Ivan. He was rather neglected him. He is joint championship leader. Now they're driving the Group 5 cars here. There's lots of variety in the Group 5 cars, but I'm loving the way that the drivers are struggling to control them, particularly when there's a bit of drift or back-end sway.
Especially these cars got so much power, and you can just see them getting sideways. You know, Darren going through turn 1 just now, he's going sideways through the corner. This is the Chevy, I think. Corvette. No, Corvette. I can't remember what it is. But they're great to watch, aren't they? They've got many different kinds. I think there are 7 different kinds of cars in this Group 5, so we got a nice selection. Amor Hazik will be joining us for commentary in a while, and he'll have all the stats on these cars. They are beautiful to watch.
Darren Ivan was pretty quick, easy to pick out in the blue and red. Mohamed Khalif was also pretty quick as well. Khalif had a second and a third last week, so that the 3 drivers that we mentioned, Khalif, Ivan, who were on board with, and Jun Cheng, they seem to be a class apart from the others after one round. Very, very early days in the season.
And they've all chosen the same car as well, so this car seems to be the one to go. Although I think, actually, let me take that back. I think Darren Ivan was in a different car. but he's changed car for this round. So they're all in the same cars now. Got some new boys. We've got the two brothers as well, Tunku Izan and Tunku Jan. Let's see what cars they are in. In the 320, I think. Jan is in. This car was quick down the straight, I think. God, it'd be great to know what it is. I'm gonna have to do my research now.
You said the rules. You said the game. The drivers.
There's some very different cars out there, aren't there?
So how are the drivers making the selections? Is it just personal choice and what they feel is working? As we get underway in the qualification period, let's stick alongside Tunku Jan Lei.
Yeah, Jan is he's a really versatile driver here in Malaysia. He's such a great driver, actually. He drives all sorts of things, touring cars. He's very well known for drifting. He's won many international drifting competitions around. We'll go on for a lap with him, shall we?
Indeed, let's do that around the Bruno circuit. And Edifice Casio with the timing, just to see if he's able to set a lap to get him in the top 5 position.
Yeah, as he comes down with turn 1. So you've got to kind of brake into the corner, but then clear the brake. But you want to hold the brake a little bit into this corner because it's such a long corner. And if you come off the brake too early, it just the front comes back up and you understeer. Gets it sideways on the exit of turn 1 there through turn 2. I actually think John will be very quick in these cars because he's got great car control. Unbelievable car control. And these cars require good car control. Through turn 3 again. Roll for the understeer through there. Through turn 4 should just be a lift. Don't need to brake. But I think he might actually be braking just to get the front to sit down again because there's so much understeer. Sometimes you brake into the corner, so not to slow the car down, but just try and keep the weight on the front axle so the car turns in. Through turns 5 now. Again, longish corner where you got to brake into, keep the front down. Turn 6, small lift. Use the grass in the apex if you want. You can use the grass. It's okay through there. And then through turn 7, another long corner. Slow corner this one, into second gear. Good exit out of it. Short straight before turn 8. And turn 8 is like a chicane because it's left, but you got to hang to the left right here because you've got a right-hander following right after it. And turn 9, you need a good exit because it comes down this long straight out of turn 9. So good exit out there. Jan is purple in sector 1, so he's quickest of all of everyone. That's great to see. Now braking turn 10. See how he brakes and he holds the brake all the way into it. Oh, he's overcooked it a bit. He's run a bit wider than he wants to. But he'll get a good exit out of the corner. Oh, look at that, sideways. The Prince of Drift doing it again.
And still fastest.
Very dramatic lap by Jan here. It's turns 11 and 12 chicane. And then one more chicane to go to end off the lap. But it's a long chicane. Turns 13 and 14. So John's still purple at the moment. It'd be fantastic if this is the pole lap. Comes through the left-hander here. Yeah, gets the... That's okay. Missing the apex a bit like that doesn't really cost you time. Now he gets the apex here. Uses a bit of grass. Now got to get on the throttle. Oh, someone's just gone a lot quicker though. Jun Cheng has gone quickest. John, this is a decent lap from him. A bit untidy though. He'll know that there's a lot more time.
Indeed, it's nearly 2 seconds down at the end of it at 2:12. Mohamed Zihni at 2:08.521. Colossally quick lap there from the Blue Steel Racing driver. Zihni. Wow, we know that he can be quick. We've seen him in E1. We've seen him in silver and gold, I think, of eRGP. That splendid yellow and blue is really racing around the Bruno circuit.
Yeah, I mean, he finished second in silver class last year, so last edition. He didn't get promoted to gold because he's still relatively new to sim racing, to be honest. Racecraft still could be improved on, but boy, has he improved on. He has done some gold races and done really well as well. Not finished on the podium or anything, but top 10. And here he is in silver. Missed the first round, of course. Not a good sector 1. Well, not a bad sector 1. He's half a
500s down.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Half a tenth of the lap he did previously. But within striking range, isn't he, Dad? So he can still nail sectors 2 and 3, and that should allow him maybe to extend his advantage of pole. Although he's got a big advantage anyway. He's got 6/10 over championship leader Jun Cheng.
It was a colossally quick first lap. It really was. I mean, we were focusing on Tunku, and suddenly Mohamed Zihni. We were saying Tunku, he's doing all right. Could get fastest lap, and suddenly Zihni blasts him out of the water by a good 2 seconds.
Yeah, and I think Singapore must be lifting their sanctions or the lockdown because Zihni's got a very nice haircut.
Yes. Don't we need them?
Gosh, look how much he has to slow down the car. Just so much. These big old cars, and weight distribution is not great. Suspensions can be pretty agricultural, to be honest. So you have to be very patient with these cars.
Up the hill, coming into turn 13. I think he'll have enough time to complete this lap. There's still 20 seconds to go. 2:08.5 is the lap at the moment. As you say, it's massively quicker. 4/10 quicker than Jun Cheng, the championship leader. Mohamed Khalif, again, quietly just sneaking in there at P3, so he'll pick up 3 points there. But Zihni, even if he doesn't improve on that fastest lap, will be on pole position in the Silver Edition Race 1, Round 2 of the eRGP. Right. Zihni, Jun Cheng, Khalif, Justin Hung, Darren, Ivan, the big three, all in the top 5.
Nicely done. Okay, we have a quick 1-minute pause before we come to race 1. Amo Hazik will be joining us for this. Wow, it's going to be interesting to watch, isn't it, Des?
Yeah, we are at the Brno Grand Prix circuit. It is nearly 5.5 kilometers long. We've got about 45 seconds to go. Opportunity, Amo, if you are listening in, just to give ourselves a brief hello, and what are you expecting from this particular race?
Yeah, hello, good morning, guys. Sorry, good afternoon now, guys. Yeah, looking forward to this because last time we saw that the Chevrolet Corvette Greenwood was the fastest car around the Salisbury. Now it's the other Chevrolet car, which is the Deccan Monza, who is actually leading the way. But they're going to have a strong challenge from the BMWs as far as I can see.
Very, very quick start it was from Mohamed Zihni. 4/10 fastest as the red lights are on at the moment. When they go off, we'll be underway. It's the yellow and blue of Zihni. What kind of a start? It looks like a flyer for Zihni. What a start for Mohamed Zihni. Fast lap and quick off at the back. There's a crash. 1, 2, 3 cars involved, but Zihni is already around this first corner.
And that's the whole shot that he needed. And we've seen so far today at least, there have been instances where the guys who actually take the lead, the whole shot at the start of the race, will just pull away, and Zihni will be looking to do just that. But he's got the advantage of Jun Cheng to deal with.
Yeah, Jun Cheng was third fastest in qualification, and Jun Cheng's just been able to get on the back of him. In fact, Darren Ivan is there. Mohamed Khalif, who was on P3 in qualification, he's dropped down to P5, and Arif Azmi, who we know can be very, very quick, he's got himself up into P4. That's in the green and white. Another car slides in the distance.
And that's why one of the BMWs. In fact, the spins that we have seen so far are all BMWs, so a bit front heavy that these cars, rear heavy to the point that these cars can actually spin around. We're looking at Volte Seco, one of those BMWs, as the rest of the field then are made up predominantly of the Deccan Monzas. No Corvette this time because the Corvette is actually gonna be useless around these corners. And one Skyline, I think. No, sorry, it's the Fab car. So one Porsche and one Skyline. So great mix of cars, but you can see where is the meta car here. It is absolutely, for sure, the Deccan Monza.
You should have been born in this era, Amo. It's almost like you're salivating when you're describing those cars. Particularly though, the BMWs are struggling. Why would they particularly struggle here?
I'm not quite sure because you can see that they all have the aerodynamics. In fact, it looks more aerodynamically sound than the Deccan Monza in front. I would hesitate to guess that it probably lacks a bit of power because the car cannot seem to catch the Deccan Monzas in the straight. Though having said that, we're only into the first mid-lap of the race. We could still see the BMW come good towards the end.
Up at the front, we have still got Mohamed Zihni. It's almost turned into a bit of procession. We're not really used to that in eRGP. We don't like processions. Behind them, Darren Ivan goes a little bit wide. That might open a bit of space for Arif Azmi as we look back from the race leader, Mohamed Zihni. How would he be able to get 4/10 quicker than anybody else? Because setup isn't such a big play when you're in the classic cars, is it, Amo?
Not really, because the fact that we're also in fixed setup, so it's dependent on the way you drive, and certain drivers just have that smoothness where you can just caress the car into the corners and pick up the throttle quicker than somebody else that can actually go further than them. And look at this, Zihni is now 5/10, in fact 6/10 coming up to turn 3 now, ahead of Jun Cheng, and Jun Cheng was actually rather as chuffed in the first lap as well. So Zihni then managed to find the rhythm quickly and get into the swing of things to pull up a gap right now. He'll be looking to pull up at least a second so that he doesn't have to worry about the draft.
We are at the virtual Brno circuit in the Czech Republic. Conditions both virtually and in real life absolutely superb. Mohamed Zihni driving very, very smoothly. Behind them, Arif Asmi, who loses the back end, is just able to hold on, but under pressure from Voltaire Seiko. But there is just how difficult it is for Arif to hold on to these big, heavy old vehicles.
Yep, exactly. And the fact that you can say these cars are the precursors to the GT1 cars, and after that the GT3 cars that we saw later on. Absolutely monstrous beasts throughout the 70s and to the early part 80s before they got replaced in 1981 by the Group B formula, which unfortunately wasn't as successful as the Group 5s were. But nonetheless, it is absolutely brilliant to see that these cars are alive again, albeit virtually.
Terrific, yes. We can go back in history by looking to the future. I waited to say that for quite a while. A little bit further down, Mohamed Khalif. Now then, Khalif started off well. He's had 2 third places last week, Ammo. He was 3rd fastest in qualification, in fact 2nd fastest, but now he's dropped down to P13. Problems?
Yeah, I think probably he got involved in some of the mayhem in the first lap. In fact, he probably got tangled up in that first corner, first start line kerfuffle before recovering up to 13th place. Not a good start to the season for him after storming his way through in the first race. In fact, he had a podium and 2 podiums in that first round. So, not a good start to this round, at least for Khalif. He'll be looking to recover in race 2.
Looking back up to the race for P4, you've got Arif under real pressure from Voltaire Seiko and Kelvin Pau. Now, Kelvin is just off a bronze medal P2 in a very different vehicle. How difficult is it to change vehicles as you go upper class, Ammo? As Voltaire barges through, my apologies. Sorry, you answer now, Ammo, sorry.
That's good. It's like, I would say, like Sim Kaiwan, he says that to really drive 2 completely different cars is like riding 2 different bicycles. It's one that goes left to the right and the other one is that actually rides normally. So basically it's a completely different kettle of fish when you come to 2 different cars. And to some drivers they can actually adapt quite quickly, which is a great thing. Like certain drivers that we saw, for example Hamdani, he got to the swing of things immediately, but unfortunately in this class at least, he's in 14th.
See, just at the back of this group of 4, battle between Kelvin Pau and Voltaire Seiko. Tunku John Lay, who Alex suggested might be quick at this particular circuit. He's hanging in there as well, Tunku in P7. He's in the turquoise. Ahead of him he's got Kelvin Pau and Voltaire Seiko. Cracking little 4-way battle for P4.
Absolutely, and I like the choice of car that he used for that one because it has the Bayon side colors on the side, which is actually a homage to a French comic book called Michel Vaillant, and Michel Vaillant has been portrayed by several French drivers and was idol for some, including Alain Prost. Very nice to see these colors out on track right now.
Sensational useless knowledge, fantastic, Ammo. We rely upon you for that as Tenku tries to maybe go around the outside. Kelvin Pau is the man who is in the way. Kelvin had a very, very good race as again Tenku tries to operate around the outside. Little bit of contact as they come up the hill, but the BMW's just been edged out of that one, and Kelvin is bullied out of the position.
Jan there driving like how Michel Vaillant won't drive, and that's barging people out of the way, but that's how you have to get moved on because some of these cars like, whoa, you can see Pau there being attacked by Edza and his brothers, so I guess that runs in the family. They really love to give you a knock and say, I'm here, and try to get the move done. And fortunately for both of them, they've moved up a place. Kelvin Pau there, the big loser of the lot, he's lost 2 positions consecutively.
Indeed, it is the old family one too. Tenku Janlei in P6 at the moment. Tenku Ezanlei, who we know quite a lot. He's been involved with the RGP since season 1. He is in P7. Up at the front, let's just have a look just to see how Mohamed Zihni's going on. He is increasing his lead over Jun Cheng, Ammo, but not by a lot. He's not blowing him away.
Not really, and the fact that it doesn't help matters that they're both in equally performing cars. Exact same car, of course, the Chevrolet Decon Monza. But it's just a matter of how they drive right now, and that's what actually separates them in terms of positions. And how Jun Cheng's actually not losing him either, because they're both driving so well at the moment. And equally that, we can safely say for Darren Ivan Reijan, who's in 3rd place. There he is. So Blue still 1-3 with a, I'm not sure which team Jun Cheng is part of nowadays, but he's running well in 3rd as well. So 1, 2, 3 then, a class of their own.
Yeah, the Blue Steel Racing Darren Ivan, he picked up a P3 and a fastest lap, and a P1 and a fastest lap in the first round. So he's looking good for 3 podiums in a row as it stands, with more than half of this race 1 gone.
Absolutely, but right now he wants to actually get that fastest lap because championship rival there, if we can safely say so, in the first 2 rounds of the season is right in front of him. He needs to get past Jun Cheng to actually get the championship lead. Jun Cheng then, yes, running as privateer, so I thought he was running for a team for a second, but whatever it is, he's doing well here. And if things stand where they are, he'll take the lead of the championship because they're both tied on points coming into this round.
They are. There is a reverse grid race to come, and good point about that rivalry. Mohamed Zihni, I don't think raced in the first round last week, so he's looking to get his first points of the season. How it works, there are 5 rounds. You can drop one of the rounds 1 to 4, but all points in round 5 count. But Zihni is just beginning to pull away as he starts lap 5, Amo Azik.
Yeah, you can see that visually as well, and the gap on the left-hand side of the screen is 1.3 seconds as he comes to turn 1. So Zihni's got the hammer down, and he's picking up the pace here to stretch that gap to Jun Cheng. And Jun Cheng now probably has to look into his mirrors because Darren is only about 9/10 behind. So the battle for the final spot on the rostrum is still not over, not by a long shot.
Let's look a little bit further down where we can see Mohamed Khalif just trying to move on the inside of Nois. Oh, Nois is pushed wide though, so Mohamed Khalif forces his way up into the top 10, and the Japanese racer who we love to see racing, nice to get that international flavour. Well, he's battling back on this one, is Noiso, and Mohamed Khalif is having to work hard to make it into the top 10, Amo.
Yeah, and the fact that I was surprised that Noise didn't go for the Nissan Skyline, because that seems to be like an obvious choice for the Japanese fans, especially the fact that the Skyline in that era was one of the most popular cars in the Asian region. But nonetheless, he's driving well here in the Fab Car 935, which is apparently not a Porsche. It's created by an engineering firm, but that's beside the point. Noise then looking to fight back. He's only about 5/10 behind Khalif, but Khalif knows full well that he just needs to score more points here if he wants to mount a serious challenge for the title.
You had a gloriously raced youth. I've got to say that, Amo. Fantastic knowledge. Voltaire Seiko in P5. Now then, is that Arif Azmi in front of him? It is, you know. They're a long way behind the front 3. Will rejoin that race for P1. But this battle for P4, Arif Azmi was in control of this, but suddenly Voltaire Seiko has closed in to within half a second.
And you can see that I think I got my point proven right for once, because the BMWs are coming good towards the end of the race, and we're about 4.5 minutes left to go in this first round. Seiko then attacking Arif Azmi for that place in on the track. It might not be a podium, but it will be still valuable points for him. In fact, where did he finish in that first race? First round. Yep, he finished around 4th. Yeah, 4th in round 1 and 4th in round 2. So he definitely has to. He will keep up the consistency. It will be another 4th place here in Brno.
Well, the drivers have to worry at all about tyre wear, Amo, because it's such a twisty track. You've got the straight, you've got to break into the corners. Surely tyre wear might come into play in the latter stages.
Well, it's times 2 tyre wear, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I've been informed before, so it might not be as severe as we saw in the Salzburg ring, where we saw like Darren Ivan, who had at one point a 2-second lead in race 1, then lost the lead in the final lap. So that's why he changed from the Greenwood Corvette to the Deccan Monza Chevrolet. Same, they're both Chevrolets, but it's Corvette. But whatever it is, that's beside the point. It's that kind of tyre wear that actually becomes an issue if it's actually on a track that has a lot of corners. But having said that, we don't seem to see that kind of issue right now, and at the moment at least, the drivers look like they're contented to just keep the cars, keep pushing the cars.
Mohamed Khalif is trying to get the better of Nazir Azman. This is the battle for P9, the all-red, highly sponsored vehicle of Nazir Azman under pressure from Khalif. He's doing his best for us not to see him in the screen bottom right. who has the advantage on those straight line speed, and does the elevation help in any way, shape or form for the heavier vehicles?
Well, not really. Elevation actually will affect all the cars, but in terms of power and trying to actually get on it, I would say that the Fab cars should be faster. But having said that, we've seen so far like the Deccan Monzas, the Chevrolet Deccan Monzas, have been absolutely rockets on the straight. So Chevrolet, in this era of regulation back in the late 70s to early 80s, got the engine just about right. So whoever's driving a Chevrolet right now might be looking very smart. And looking at this now, Khalif might actually have a shot here overtaking Nazir Azman.
Just stick with Khalif just for a very, very short while. We need to go back to the leaders. We've rather ignored them. A couple of minutes to go. The drifting skills come into play there. This back end is so hard to control. Obviously, you can see that visually.
Yeah, you can see that how much they are having to control it. Even with the massive wings on the back, which were mandated to these cars anyway, you can still see that the amount of power, the raw power that they had to put in, can you still easily step up. And this is only Group 4 and 5 that we saw, 4 previously, 5 now. We have not seen Group 6s or 7s, which were commonplace at Le Mans in the 70s. Those cars have actually big wings and more power than we could imagine. As Nazir Azman gets a light tap there from Khalid, letting him know that he's there. They're taking a leap of the Jan brothers book.
Indeed,
sorry,
it was. And we ought to just revisit what's going on elsewhere. Mohamed Zihni has been able to now pull away. He has been leading from the start. He was fastest in qualification. It looked like he's going to get a 25 points here as well. His lap time of 2:09.2, I think, is... Oh, he's got a 2:08. Has he got the last fastest lap as well? I think his fastest lap. This is looking very good for Mohamed Zihni.
Absolutely. He did say to me early in the week that he wants to actually take the championship. He really wants it. He's absolutely determined to win this one because he missed round 1 due to unforeseen circumstances. I'm not sure what happened last week, but this week he's making amends for it, and he's going to take the full complement of points if he also gets the fastest lap.
Indeed, 45 seconds still remaining. Jun Cheng is too far behind, barring a catastrophic error by Mohamed Zihni. But he's in P2, a good couple of seconds clear of Darren Ivan. So, as you say, Jun Cheng has got a chance of going into the championship lead. It is only round 2 of 5. Arif Azmi is still holding off the challenge of Voltaire Seiko for P4, though. And Arif has had to defend for the best part of 6 laps.
And the Dakin Monza again showing why it's actually a useful tool on the straights. He's using that straight line speed to actually pull away from the BMW. But look at that, the BMW then is good around the corners. It can still keep out with it. Arif then only has about a few corners left because we're on the final lap here. Zihni might come across the line anytime. We'll look back at the battle here later once Zihni crosses the line.
Yeah, here is Mohamed Zihni. He is on the road to the first victory here. Mohamed Zihni from Singapore, fastest in qualification, takes the victory here. It's a comprehensive victory against Jun Cheng, but Jun Cheng will take the championship lead. Darren Ivan will move into P2 in the championship. We'll go back to that battle for Arif Azmi there. He is able to hold off the battle of Voltaire Seiko, and in the brothers battle, Tengku John gets the better of Tengku Ezan for top 7. But this first race, Amo Hazik, totally belongs to Mohamed Zihni.
Absolutely, and I think he's going to do a bit of a celebratory burnout, I think. No, I don't think he wants to because he just wants to get ready for the second race as Darren pulls out alongside as well. There you go, Darren does the burnout. That's very much on cue. It's as if he knows the camera was there.
Okay, we just stick with him, but let's see if we can talk to our race winner.
Okay, so we're going to try and talk to Mohamed Zihni very quickly if we can. Now, I'm not able to get him on the mic just now, but we'll try and talk to him after race 2.
Zihni, fastest lap and takes the victory. Jun Cheng in P2. Darren Ivan in 3. Arif Azmi, a very good P4. Voltaire Seiko, a P5. That means Zihni is up and running for this season's championship. Jun Cheng is the championship leader. Darren Ivan gets a third back-to-back podium. And Arif Azmi, well, we know about the teenager from Malaysia. He can be very quick. The two Tankus, very, very good performance from them, as Alex Young suggested it may well be. So here is Alex Young, and Alex, wow, Zihni, very good.
Zihni, very good. You know, I mean, like you said, he was runner-up in silver last time round. So he is going to be favourite for the championship. He did miss round 1 though, so that will be the round he has to drop the points on. But Jun Cheng was right there, you know, 1 second, 1.5 seconds behind Zihni. So Jun Cheng's showing some really good pace. Darren also another second behind that. So both those, I think the three of them, they're going to be the ones that are going to be favourite for the championship in Silver Edition. And it's going to come down to race 2s, I feel. Whoever can make sure they have clean race 2s when it's reverse grid, try and score the most points. I think that's going to be the difference to winning the championship for this season.
It's the top 12, isn't it, who are reversed in this Silver Edition. Top 12, so that whoever came 12th is in P1, and it means that Zihni must come through the pack as we get ready for race 2, reverse grid race. It's the eRacing GP Global Edition Season 6. It's the Silver Edition, and The red lights will be coming on soon, and we will be getting underway. Our thanks to our sponsors, Rosalango, Edifice Casio, the official timekeeper and experts. And there is Zihni, who took race number 1. But it's Nois O, the Japanese racer, who will be on pole position. Red lights are on and we are underway. It was a very, very quick turnaround. Nois O immediately, though, is just swept up Amo Hazik by Justin Hung from Hong Kong. And that's it, Asma.
And someone spinning in the background there. It looks like one of the BMWs, color Jägermeister, of course. But what a start there from Nazir Asman. He's actually taking a little hole shot coming to turn 1 and holds on to it. Justin Hung then has no answer to that. But look at the speed of the BMW then. Faster than the Porsche, the Fab car. And even faster is the Deca Monza as it goes 3 wide coming to turn 3. Who's going to be brave on the brakes? It's Darren. He takes the lead. But the one's wide. Arif takes the lead.
Arif Azmi comes through as slipping out of the way. Is that Justin Hung who drops down? It is. Justin goes from 2 to 8 with one simple mistake. Arif Azmi leads from Darren Ivan. Darren Ivan, Amo, came from something like P11 up into P2 in the first 4 corners.
I think P13, P12 it is, yeah, because we do reverse the grid from 1st to 14th. 12, oh yeah, 12, because the previous class was 14, but yeah, 12. That he actually was from P10, so because he finished third in that first race. What a start from here! This is what he needed. But unfortunately for him, behind him is his chapter driver Jun Cheng. He immediately tries to go for the lead, but Arif holds firm. This is going to be an interesting tussle towards the end, all the way to the end of the race.
This is brilliant stuff. Arif Azmi, who got it from 4 in race number 1. No chance of changing the setups, all very, very similar. Behind, there's a little bit more mayhem. Mohamed Khalif has benefited from that. He's up into P6. Dropping down there was Kelvin Pau. This is the battle for P1, and it is literally nose to tail. That's Arif, the leader. Darren Ivan uses the pace, tries to go around the outside, can't get there. Defensive work from Arif Azmi.
Really defensive work there. It's like something he drives in karting in real life. You're gonna have to defend hard if you want to defend the lead in the race. And he's swerving there. That's just about legal, because he did hold on to his line, swerve slightly, but just about legal. As Darren tries to move onto the inside. Equally, Jun Cheng behind him, and Zihni goes onto the inside of Jun Cheng. Takes 3rd place at the final corner. What a move there from Zihni.
This is inside the first lap. Zihni started in P12, ends up in P3 at the end of the first lap. What a terrific start. Arif Azmi leads the way. He's in the in the green and white, and then goes a bit wide, and Darren Ivan helps himself to the lead. Arif went just a little bit wide, and look at that. These 4 cars with Tanku Janlei right behind them, really doing everything for the lead. It's Darren who leads. Arif tries to retake it. Contact!
Oh, slight contact there, and that was a bit naughty because he did dive a bit. And now that's even worse. He actually tried to go on the grass and he spins. Whoa, that was a bit too brave there that he tried. And unfortunately, he has actually taken the short and mistake. Now he has paid the price. He's going to have to recover back in the last 12 minutes that remain.
Arif Azmi drops down to P13. He was in the lead. He's now back in the race, but the Stratos Motorsports driver may well also suffer the indignity of dropping down to P14 because Kelvin Pau is there. And in all of that mayhem, race number 1 winner, inside 2 laps, Ammo, has got himself into the lead from P12.
And incidentally, Des, 2nd and 3rd are also the same guys. So the guys who were on the podium in the first race have managed to make their way up in just under 2 laps. So, amazing stuff. These guys are definitely going to challenge for the championship for sure.
And Mohamed Khalif won't be too far away either. They had a disappointing race 1, but he had 2 podiums in round 1 of the season. And Khalif is in P5 as well. He's just behind Tanku Janlei. There is Khalif, but he doesn't seem to be at this stage quite in the same class as your Darren Ivans, your Jun Chengs and your Zihnis.
Not yet at least, but he would still definitely be there because he's got the guidance from, I think, James Russell, because he is part of the Stratos outfit. So James will probably be advising him on how to improve his pace. Now then, he might not be able to get the podium for this round, but he can still get 4th place at least away from Tuku Jan. So Jan has to watch his mirrors here in the next few laps if Khalif is coming in at the rate of knots.
We'll rejoin the race leaders in a moment, but a bit of a shout out here for Mohamed Hamdani. He was in the copper at the start of the season. He was promoted to bronze, and here he is competing in the top 6 of the silver. This is a kind of meteoric rise for Hamdani, Amo.
Yeah, in fact, I think we can safely say he's the first guy to actually race in 4 classes in one season. That's how good he is. Well, actually 3 classes at the moment, at least. We'll yet to see him in gold, but I'm pretty sure this guy actually will be ready to race up to the gold, guys, because look at this. He can adapt to so many cars so well in just one season.
Right, back up to the P2 position. Darren Ivan is closing right in on the tail of Jun Cheng. We saw this in race 1. Jun Cheng was able to rather easily swat off the challenge of Darren Ivan as the sparks fly, literally and metaphorically. This time Darren Ivan, he won't want Jun Cheng, his Malaysian rival, to get too far ahead in the championship standings.
No, sorry, he won't. And every point counts here. And right now, at least, they're both consistent in the championship stakes. Jun Cheng did strike first blood in that first race by overtaking Darren in the last lap. But Darren fought back and got fastest lap for both races to win the second one. And just now, we saw it was Jun Cheng who actually got the better of Darren, because Darren just couldn't catch him up in that first race. So Darren now has to overtake Jun Cheng to equalize the gap again. They will be tied for points here if Darren goes to second.
But the real story is Mohamed Zihni. Fastest in qualification, 5 points for that. Fastest and fastest lap, so he's already accumulated a 32-point weekend. So he is on potentially for the perfect 49-point weekend is Mohamed Zihni. And that takes him going, and that really catapults you into championship contention.
And remember, he also has less ballast because this is his very first round, and one race he can already drop, so he can actually afford to just drop one race now. Oh wait, no, actually,
no, he can't.
He's already he's already dropped the race, so he's gonna have to perform from here on out, all the way up to round 5, which of course will be double points.
Let's have a look back on Mohamed Khalif. He was about to make a move on Tengku Janle, down in the beautiful turquoise, but Khalif looking for points. As you say, he might be not able to get the podium, but certainly a P4 would help his championship charge. Didn't have the best of races, but he's not able to get round Tengku Janle, and it's good to see Tengku Jan and Tengku Ezan really back competing in this silver edition.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it's nice to see both Lei brothers, who are also real-life drivers. Lei, who's Ezan, is a commentator himself, who normally commentates in Malay, drives for the Toyota Gazoo Racing Festival in Malaysia, while Jan, as we all know, is the Prince of Drift for Malaysia, and he's a well-known drifter in the international community scene. So great to see some really notable names here racing. And now we're looking at Jan here, trying to defend from Khalif. Can the Fab car get a bit of legs on the Decon? The Decon, we all know, is really fast in the straights.
Well, again, he's just been able to hold it off. The man who started on pole position, Noe So, is struggling down in P15 out of the points, and Nazir Azman also having a bit of a struggle down in P16. Wei Xiong has just got ahead of Mark Voltaire. Elman, oh, they're in a battle there. Wei Xiong was in the lead and then lost that battle to Mark Voltaire. Elman, wrong with Elman, he's in the orange. Wei Xiong in the BMW behind him, working hard just to try to pick up that place once again.
And sorry, I need to say Jägermeister because that was the sponsor on the side of Elman's car. Elman, Wei Xiong slams to the side, but I think he just locked up and hit the side of Elman. Elman probably not like that one bit. And it's a fight side by side here coming through turn 9. I was about to say that Elman was the one that actually spun at the start of the race, so he's recovering quite well to be up into the points. Points go to top 10 in race 2, but still, great recovery to not be in last place at the moment.
That was a spectacular moment for us to join Wei Xiong. Just to avoid any further mayhem, let's go back onto the race leader, because Jun Cheng has been able to close that gap, Amo Hazi. Now, in race 1, Zihni was able to pull away. Here in race 2, with 6 minutes to go, Jun Cheng is close enough to make a genuine challenge.
Absolutely, it does. In fact, he's just right on the slipstream here. He's within about a 10th coming to turn 1, but Zihni holds on the inside. Can Jun Cheng try to find around the outside? No. Zihni has the better line here, but Jun Cheng crucially still has the slipstream. He can actually make it to turn 3 if he had a better exit. No! Zihni just got a better exit. You can see that visually. He increased the gap to up to 3/10 as well. So, Jun Cheng is hard on his tail, but Zihni looking like he's not going to be fazed by this. He already did a race yesterday, by the way, in a Formula car. He managed to finish there in Monaco, so pressure for him is probably not on his vocabulary.
Well, certainly not showing it at the moment. He's been fastest in qualification, won race 1, leads race 2, having come from way down in P12 on the start. Mohamed Zihni, the youngster from Singapore. But he is under pressure. And Darren Ivan, as those two are dueling, Darren Ivan's been able to close in as well. So let's not write out the second Singaporean in this sandwich.
The second Singaporean, incidentally, also second Blue Steel Racing driver as well. As he now, oh, look at that, he's trying to get through. And unfortunately, we can't really see his face right now there because the light is so bright. It's as if that he got projected beside there to view his racing. But whatever it is, Darren then will try to give Zihni some favors. But having said that, he will try to get as many points for himself as well to be ahead of Jun Cheng. And right now, at least fastest lap is being held by Zihni, I think.
It is by Zihni. I was just thinking, you sim racers, you don't like the sun, do you? You like Dracula. You only like it in the dark.
Depends, because like Josh, he drives it all the time. So I guess you can safely say nocturnal. And so we look now to the battle between second and third. Darren actually got a better run that time around. Jun Cheng's lost a bit of momentum. Does he have the line to go into the inside? No. Jun Cheng holds firm and they go on to another lap. In fact, by our count, I think at least about 3 laps to go, I think, before we can wave the checkered flag in this race.
Yeah, flat 4 minutes. That 4 minutes has gone very, very quickly. We just need to look at another little battle a little bit further down where Hamdani, Voltaire Seiko, Mohamed Khalif are all together, and Voltaire Seiko goes past Hamdani. We were singing the praise of Hamdani there. He has to hold on. He's on double pressure. And Voltaire Seiko, in trying to overtake Hamdani, loses the place to Khalif. That is tough for the Filipino, and he responds with a lot of aggression. Tries to barge his way through the inside, but Hamdani holds on. Khalif takes the place and takes the shortcut, does Voltaire Seiko, to try to get it back. Terrific dueling.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that. The Decon is just that much faster on the straight compared to the 320 BMW. And Khalif then, I'm not sure what happened to him as, he gets a bit of a light tap there from Seiko. He was running up in 5th place behind Tunku Jan, but now he's dropped back to the clutches of both Hamdani and Seiko. So something happened to him along the way that while he was trying to chase Jan, that he's actually dropped now to 6th place.
You are quite right. There is Hamdani, another low down, the fan providing a little bit of cooling for him. What a terrific battle that is. Tunku Janley in P4, Hamdani we're on board with in P5, but he's got Khalif and Voltaire Seiko really, really on his tail. Voltaire Seiko once again having a little look on the tail end of Mohamed Khalif, and Hamdani is just in front of them. Where's the best way in this circuit, Amo, to make your aggressive moves?
Right, coming up to turn 10, I think Des is one of the best overtaking spots if you have the lineup. In fact, basically you can overtake anyone in the circuit because there's no Mickey Mouse actions that can slow the cars and kill your momentum. You just need a good run up to the back of the guy and try to overtake. In fact, here, for example, turn 10, as I mentioned, you can overtake here. Turn 11, you can overtake if you have alongside. And you can also do the switch back to 12, 13, and 14. You can overtake anyone in this circuit, actually, but it's almost impossible to do because you're in cars compared to the MotoGP bikes that normally race here. You see overtaking everywhere there too.
Very temporarily, one of the early race leaders, Arif Azmi, is out, as is Mohamed Zikri and Mark Voltaire Ayman. Back at the front, P3, Darren Ivan is making a concerted effort, get past Jun Cheng. Is he able to do so? The answer is no. Jun Cheng is able to avoid the switchback as well. Darren Ivan on the inside. Jun Cheng, he will have the line coming into this next corner. That's a terrific sequence of corners. You've just got to hold on if somebody's brave enough to go on the inside. But while they'll duel, Zihni is 1.2 seconds clear.
That's exactly what he wanted. He will just let the initial championship leaders just fight each other, and he can just scamper away. That's what exactly he's doing right now. 1.1 seconds. He's got a clear run to the line. And I did say earlier, he's not phased by pressure, and he's soaked it out quite well here to prevent the advances of Jun Cheng and indeed Darren Ivan.
Again, there's going to be some work there from Darren Ivan. Very, very briefly, your pal Wei Xiong, he has just got past Adrian Ferguson, Voltaire Seiko and Mohamed Khalif. The sparks are flying. I love the graphics on this. And through the inside goes Voltaire Seiko. Looks on Khalif. Hamdani still holding on to that P5 ahead of them. back up to P1 and 3. Sorry to jump around, Ammo, but Darren Ivan still making an effort to get around the outside of Jun Cheng, but he's going to have to do it on this lap.
Yeah, frustratingly, Jun Cheng has been able to just match him every single time that Darren actually gets up to the back of him. But I think Darren might not be that desperate if he wants to actually think about this. Is the championship on the line? He might just, get a second and third right now and hope that in the next few rounds, Jun Cheng might make a mistake. He nearly made a mistake here. Opposite lock. Darren might actually try to go for it here in the last lap if he wanted to. While Zihni then would just have a clear run to the line.
So it's a case of, do you think strategically here? Do you risk it for the opportunity to get your man, or do you risk throwing away around and make sure that means that you've got no opportunity to make a mistake? But we're right at the tail end here of this lap, and it's going to be Zihni who takes it.
Yeah, Zihni takes it, but look at that. Are they going to go side by side across the line? No, Jun Cheng just holds on to second, Darren in third. And Darren has lost the battle for this one, but the war is certainly not over between these two.
And Tunku Janle will come through a very impressive fourth. Hamdani fifth, Seiko sixth, Khalif seven. But this is an absolute dream weekend for Hamad Zihni. And I think Alex Young is back with us. Great commentary, Amo Hazik, as usual. Alex, have you able to get hold of Mohamed Zihni?
Well, thanks. Well done, Amo. Yes, let's talk to Zihni right now. Let's see if he can hear us. He might just do me something. Yeah, we can hear you, Zihni. Congratulations, double win. Take us through your day.
Oh, this is my first race in this car, of course. I like how the car, works the way I want it to work, So, of course, it's a beast. It's a freaking team, but I like the cars, and June was quite close, and I was a bit scared at the start, and I just kept calm.
Okay, well done anyway. Congratulations. See you in round 3.
And it is the perfect weekend. There is a maximum 49 points available on any given weekend. To do that, you must be fastest in qualification, win both races, and have fastest lap in both races. That is what Mohamed Zihni has done. 49 points brings him right back into championship reckoning. Jun Cheng will be the championship leader after 2 rounds. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that
Zihni,
was fun.
Very impressive, Alex. I know you like him.
Oh yeah. No, he's a star for the future for sure. I think he'll get up to gold very shortly, and he'll be winning those races as well. So, very focused driver as well, and nice to see him come along. Jun Cheng and Darren, though, they were for a moment I thought Jun Cheng was going to try and move on Zihni because Zihni was defending, but I think Jun Cheng decided to be a bit safe, and then fell into the clutches of Darren. So it's not over yet, but those three are definitely going to be the front runners for the Silver Championship.
Disappointing weekend for Mohamed Khalif, though. He was in the top 3 coming into this, but disappointed on both of the races today.
Yeah, he'll be out happy with that. We'll see what track comes up next, because obviously what track comes up benefits different drivers and different cars as well. We're actually going to ballot the tracks on Monday. So we'll see which track then comes up. But Khalif will have to strike back, and even if he has to change cars or something, although I think his car is the best car, that these are all things that the drivers will have to think about.
Okay, our thanks to our sponsors, Royal Selangor, Casio, Edifice for the timing and export. Coming up after the break, we've got eRacing GP Global Edition, the Gold Boys, La Creme de la Creme.